Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at what's next for Kill Team. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. So we've got 3 specific articles to look at today, all of them pertaining to Kill Team, and I think we can start to paint a little bit more of a picture as to what's to come. Where next for Kill Team? Let's look at the path ahead. The end is nigh. After many thousands of years cascading through space and time on a capricious eddies of the warp, the great and terrible space hulk called the Gallowdark is falling at last to its final end. A crew of doughty Hearthkin salvagers is preparing to board in desperate race to rescue Ironkin cerebral units before impact. Little do they know that a pack of snarling Felgor ravagers are lurking in the shadows to thwart them, beastmen infused by the powers of chaos. The season of Gallowdark ends here, but not the story. Even as it tumbles out of orbit, this ancient and malign craft still has secrets to disgorge. So new season deploys fall of 2023. All right, so we don't get much here, and you're not missing anything on the audio. It does say Eldari presence detected, deploy infiltration units. And that's basically it. All right, so that is it. It's a relatively short video. We don't get a lot of information from it. Which aspect of this video intrigued you most? We're definitely on a planet, and there's probably combat, which will almost certainly be between squads drawn from 2 major factions in the 41st millennia. So far, so Kill Team. More specific clues abound, however. An Eldari presence seems likely. Also, a glimpse of structures which appear to be built amid choppy waves. Further scouting is clearly required. So the little note, Eldari presence detected. We've already seen Eldar and Dark Eldar kill teams in the form of the Corsairs, as well as the most recent Drukhari team in Soul Shackle. So it doesn't make a ton of sense to be getting another Eldar kill team. It is possible that this one would be more of the traditional Eldar and replace the Compendium team, but realistically, the Corsairs kind of already came out, and that was realistically our Eldar team. So what could this be if it was going to be something different? I think it would be Exodites. Basically like rogue Eldar warriors or civilizations that have left the main craft worlds. So that's my guess, potentially Exodites. And I don't want to spoil just yet, but I'm pretty sure we already know what the second kill team is. So we'll take a look at that in just a minute here. So now the real question is, how does all of this fit together? Because these were all kind of released on the same day, I'm not sure what has been kind of filled in on here. So we have the roadmap 2023 for Kill Team. And we know obviously Gallowdark, the season finale, is coming. And then we see Ashes of Faith narrative expansion. And actually that's one of the other articles. So we're going to see what's in that box set. And that is for spring. And then we also have the individual team release. And I suspect we know what that team is. We'll have to see. And then a Kill Team annual book also. And that's going to take us through summer. And then the new season will start in autumn. And it's part 1 and part 2 is all we see. I'm assuming that the season will still be 4 parts. But all we see is part 1 and part 2 in autumn and winter. So before all this, the skirmish action continues in Kill Team Ashes of Faith, a new box set that pitches you into the shadow war between inquisitorial agents and chaos cultists. The standalone campaign-focused expansion bridges the gap between Kill Team seasons. Alright, so that basically wraps us up for this article, and we essentially know what these two are already. Well, we'll know in a sec when we take a look at that one. And then the individual team release, we don't know what that's going to be. But I have a feeling here. So we'll take a look at that as well. And then Kill Team Annual, we've seen the annual books. It's sort of like just a compilation of all the stuff that came out for the year. All right, so here's our second one. Join the Inquisition to hunt a mutating chaos cult in a new Kill Team campaign expansion. While the Gallowdark is falling to Earth on one side of the galaxy, the powers of chaos are corrupting yet another imperial world on the other. And with cult influence running deep, only the Emperor's most holy Inquisition can root them out once and for all. All right, so let's take a look at what's inside here. And right off the bat, before we start, we can see on the left there, we have some Tempestus Scions, and then also some Sisters of Silence. But all on the right here in the center is new units. And then, of course, we can see the back end of like the new kind of Cultists and Accursed and everything that came out recently. So let's take a look at this video. So yeah, lots of new models here. Going relatively quickly. Join the hunt for heretics. So pretty cool looking models here. Definitely have an awesome inquisitorial vibe to them. We can see right off the back a servitor, inquisitor, all kinds of stuff, a dialogus. We recognize all of the chaos models here. And then as far as ancillary support, so pretty cool. Definitely some cool looking models here. Very detailed, very personable. And a new way to play Kill Team. A narrative way. And then there we can see the actual box set. So pretty cool. Ashes and Faith. Definitely some new stuff in there. So pretty neat looking set right there. Got a little something from the video. Let's take a look at what's inside. Welcome to Kill Team Ashes of Faith, a brand new expansion box packed with 40 miniatures and a deep narrative campaign system, full of territories to capture and schemes to concoct. This box is a bit of an oddity. It's not part of the current Kill Team season. Rather, this is a narrative campaign in a box and a brand new way to play Kill Team. So we'll see. I like the idea that they put like little bits of narrative in all of the Kill Team books. I'm not sure how I feel about a complete narrative box or if it's that interesting. I think Games Workshop is starting to just do a little too much. And we'll see as we kind of look into this box set if it still feels like Kill Team or if this feels like something else. The stars of the show are the new inquisitorial agents. These shadowy specialists are an inquisitor's most valuable asset, whose unique skills and abilities are vital for fighting a war in the darkness. 4 of these acolytes can each be built as 2 completely different operatives. The pistol-packing interrogator can also become a knife-juggling enlightener, for example, while there's also an auto-savant, a faithful tome skull, and a gun servitor who can be armed literally with a heavy bolter, multi-melta, or plasma cannon. So pretty neat. Obviously the models are super cool here, and we have some options available for them as well. Alright, so right off the bat, we've got a couple of the models here. So pretty neat. I think that is the variance we're able to choose between the 2 different ways you can build the model right there. And then here we see a couple more. One with a halberd and one with a little hand flamer and chainsword. Pretty neat. Definitely have some cool kind of thematic stuff going on there. And then we kind of have like a little bit of the redemptionist flavor kind of showing up on this guy here. Pretty neat though. I do like them. They definitely have the inquisitorial feel to them. And then we see with the big old eviscerator, and then here with the plasma pistol, and some kind of little like stub pistol or silenced pistol. And then here we've got like the little servo skull, little Daedalus type guy, and then of course the chunky servitor. And we did see him with the heavy bolter in the previous pictures, here with the plasma, and we know multi-melta is also an option. So pretty cool, nice little setup here. Many of these inquisitorial operatives have nods to miniatures from the classic large-scale Inquisitor game, including a very faithful reimagining of an Imperial Guard veteran with a polearm. 7 intrepid mortals, no matter how skilled, aren't quite enough to take down a planet-spanning chaos cult. Fortunately, an Inquisitor can call upon faithful servants from across the Imperium to fight the sickness. So yeah, here we see a squad of Tempestus Scions, and they are pretty good already on their own, probably one of, if not the best, compendium team to date. So this is definitely going to go along nicely. Now, obviously, if you were taking a all-Scion team, you would get 10 of them. So 5 of them is going to take up equivalents of half of your team. 6 different groups can lend their aid in the form of ancillary support operatives. Tempestus Scions and Sisters of Silence are included in the box. So we did see 5 of each of them in the box. But you may also deputize Kasserkin, Imperial Navy Breachers, Arbite Exaction Squads, or Veteran Guardsmen. Each can dispatch a squad of their best to join your acolytes, making this the most flexible kill team ever devised. So if you've been collecting kill teams, odds are that you have some easy ways to add even more flexibility to this unusual crew. So I'm not sure if it's going to be the same type of situation where you get basically like half a squad of Kasserkin, Breachers, or Arbites, or Veteran Guardsmen. We'll really have to wait and see how the rules kind of pan out, because we know right off the bat that 5 Tempestus Scions is half a kill team. We know also 7 Veteran Guardsmen is half of a kill team. So if you were going to take the Scion kill team, you could basically take 5 Scions and 7 Vet Guard, and that makes up your whole kill team. So realistically, for this setup here, maybe you have the ability to take 1 or 2 guys from these different teams, or maybe you just have the ability to take half a team along with your inquisitorial henchmen. We'll have to wait and see. It's kind of up in the air right now. But we know for the Imperial side, you have the 7 inquisitorial Operatives, you have 5 Sisters of Silence and 5 Tempestus Scions. So that's 17 models. Very, very unlikely you're going to be able to use all 17 of those models, but it is possible. And then on to the Chaos side of the set. Whatever their origins, these soldiers of the faith stand against the hidden canker, a sprawling Chaos cult that offers a completely unique experience in Kill Team. Chaos cult operatives mutate in the midst of battle into new and grotesque forms, sprouting weapons and stealing wounds as their flesh shifts and morphs. Even the lowliest cult devotee can grow into a hulking mutant, and from there ascend into a mighty torment, rippling with claws and fangs. The dark commune spur their followers into battle through profane exhortations, even as the powers of the warp overcome them, twisting the cult further and further as time ticks by. So here we can see 10 of the cultists, and then we see the commune as well. Very, very cool models. Definitely a big fan of these. And then if we give it a little scroll here, we can see the Accursed cultist box as well. The battle for the city of Deepwell, and with it, the very planet of Exolus, is a push and pull struggle for control of vital locations, using decks of cards, reusable stickers, and chunky terrain tiles to create objectives, enlist conspirators, and hoodwink your opponent. The cards included are themed around the Inquisition and cult forces included in the box, but they can be used by any kill team to run the campaign as you see fit. So I'm not sure how this is going to fit in with Kill Team. It definitely feels like this is going to be its own kind of game, separate from Kill Team, but likely just follow the Kill Team rules. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. I'm not sure if these teams are still going to be viable in the regular game or tournament scene, or if this is just going to be like a different way to play the game and a more fun kind of like side game. Honestly, not sure right now. We don't have a ton of information, but I do know all the models in the set are really cool. So Ashes of Faith provides a completely start to finish campaign set that only needs a kill zone to play, and will offer wildly different experiences every time as plans go awry and the momentum shifts back and forth ahead of the nail-biting finale. The kill teams in this box are also usable in a more traditional kill team campaign and match play missions, and they both offer a distinct play style. So that's awesome. Definitely answers our question there. These kill teams will be fully usable in match play missions. Now a quick message from today's sponsor. CMO Games has been selling Games Workshop products online for over 20 years. They carry the full line of Games Workshop products, including Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Necromunda, Blood Bowl, paint tools, and more. Almost all Games Workshop products are priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games takes pre-orders for most Games Workshop products released at their earliest date possible. 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, they go live. Most of these pre-order products are also priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games offer free shipping in the US 48 with an order of $50 or more. Their customer service is top-notch, and they ship most orders within 24 hours. Visit CMOGames.com using the affiliate link in the description and let them know that you heard about CMO Games from Warhammer Man. Now, back to the video. And almost finished. We got one more article to get through here. Create the coolest Space Marine kill team ever with the new Warhammer Heroes. Space Marines are the most iconic faction in the 41st millennium, and the Adeptus Astartes know a thing or two about infiltrating kill zones with highly trained stealth operatives, or storming them with armored shock troops. Teams that mingle tactical roles, however, were less common until now. There's a brand new set of Warhammer Heroes coming later this year, with all the character-packed models you'll need to mix and match a full kill team of Space Marines, each with their own inimitable style. So it does say specifically collect and mix or match a kill team, so it's very unlikely we're going to get to use all these models at the same time. All right, so here we see what appears to be a captain with plasma pistol and power fist. Pretty cool model right there. Definitely some cool bases as well. And then next we have a regular intercessor chucking a grenade right here. We see an assault intercessor as well. And then we see an infiltrator sniper. We see a heavy intercessor armed with a heavy bolter. And that's it. So 5 of them total. So pretty cool. Maybe we'll get to take all 5. I'm not sure. Coming to stores later this year, these 7 miniatures come together to form Strike Force Justian. Unlike the Battle Brothers who operate in single armor formations, the Strike Force combines a heavy intercessor in Gravis armor, a Phobos-clad Eliminator, a Tacticus armored intercessor of the ranged and assault variety, alongside the first ever captain to grace the addition of Kill Team. So they say 7. These 7 miniatures come together. And then on the side of the box here, we can actually see there are in fact 7 miniatures. But everywhere they're listed, it's only showing like 5 in the picture and then also listing 5. Here on the picture though, we can see there's another intercessor with a bolt gun, and then we can see another intercessor here reloading a bolt gun. So those must be our 2 missing operatives. Each blind box will contain one randomly selective operative from Strikeforce Justian, with a data card covering their stats, weapons, keywords, unique actions, and abilities. So this is what the blind box will look like, and it's basically just a random pick of one in there. Now in the past, when they have released these Space Marine heroes, you were able to buy like a case of them, and it included at least one of each with a couple other random duplicates. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case here, but we see how they're actually packaged and everything. This kill team may have a lockdown loadout, but they each come with a choice of 2 heads, and their great base stats and straightforward rules make them a brilliant starting team for new players. The back of each card also provides one of the ploys available to them and includes QR code with quick access to kill team light rules. Strikeforce Justian is a standalone kill team, separate from the Frobos Strike Team, Intercession Squad, or Space Marine Compendium kill teams. They're designed as a straightforward and self-contained entry point, and so lack the team-wide abilities and equipment options of their peers. On the other hand, they do have a captain. Kill Team focuses on small-scale covert operations, explained Elliot from the Kill team, so it's rare for high-ranking commanders to find themselves involved in the lethal shootouts depicted in our games. That being said, we'll occasionally find a place for a character-level model in Kill Team. Narratively, these heroes are fun-focused for an objective, but they're not invincible. Plasma and meltaguns can make short work of even the mightiest officers. Does this mean a return of the commander rules from past editions of Kill Team? The short answer is no, Elliot says. We design our teams so that each one has its own playstyle and feel. This keeps our design space open as we look to each team as a unique addition to the range. These characterful new Space Marines will be available first from select specialist retailers this summer, followed by a wider release at a later date. Keep an eye out for more information when and where you can get yours. All right, so before we wrap this up, as obviously there's a lot of information here, I want to see if we can just kind of connect the dots on something here. So it does say the Adeptus Astartes know a thing or two about infiltrating kill zones. And here we see from our little spoiler trailer, it says Eldari presence detected, deploy infiltration units. So I'm not sure if this is going to be the individual team release, or if potentially the new season is going to be Kill Team Justian versus what I suspect to be the Eldar Exodites in our part 1 box set for the next season of Kill Team. So I could be wrong, complete speculation, but it doesn't make a ton of sense that they're doing another Eldar Kill Team unless it's something different like the Exodites. We know that they're hip to the Exodites because they created them and also had that cool series based on the Exodite. And then also there's very little information in this trailer, and it specifically says infiltrate, and then it talks about how the new Kill Team Justian can infiltrate. So there's a lot of information here. We'll obviously get some more teasers, spoilers, and kind of fill in the blanks as time progresses. But very interesting, definitely some excitement for Kill Team. I really enjoyed the Gallowdark overall. Into the Dark season was cool, the terrain was cool, but it is just way too redundant by the end. And not to mention, this feels like an awful lot really fast. I mean, we're just about to get Gallowdark on preview next week, and then the Ashes of Faith is probably going to be a month, maybe a month and a half behind that if they're both coming in spring. So at least there'll be no big boxes throughout summer, as it will just be the individual team release and Kill Team annual. But then after that, we'll kick off our next season and our next 4 or more big boxes as well. So there's definitely a lot going on in this box. But again, if we just take a look down here, we see there's 10 of the regular cultists. Then we see 5 of these guys here, the like kind of character retinue. And then we have 3 of the big accursed, and then another 5 of like the mutants. So that is 23 models for Chaos. And then they said somewhere that there was 7 models for the Inquisition, but I see here like the little servo skull, and then another 8 models right here. So that's technically 9, plus then 5 Tempestus Scions, and also 5 Sisters of Silence. So that is technically 19 models for the good side as well. So we have 19 models and 23 models, and there are currently model limits on Kill Team, and neither one of these fits inside. So I presume you're just not going to be able to use all of your models at once, or they had talked about how the cultists can mutate. So maybe you have to mutate into the various forms. So everybody starts as like the regular cultist, and then you can turn into a mutant, and then you can turn into one of the accursed mutants. I'm not sure, just kind of guessing on this one. But it does seem like this one is kind of bending or breaking the rules. But it is a nice box set with over 40 miniatures in it. Looks pretty cool. So yeah, that's it for Kill Team. Lots going on here, lots of excitement, lots of speculation. Always like to hear back from you guys. So let me know down below what you think. Did I make any errors in my reasoning or speculations here? Or are you kind of thinking the same thing as I am? You have anything to add? Always like to hear back. So make sure to leave a comment down below. Special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the video. Check them out to save 15% on Games Workshop products. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and there's a lot of exciting stuff happening in Kill Team. And I'm out of here.